Hey guys, good, the bad, the unusual. Just gonna do another video. I've been feeling it lately, so I've been kind of doing one a day, and I took a long extended break there, so there's a lot of stuff I saw that I could talk about. Anyway, jumping in. For my good, I got this film here called Mosquito. Mosquito was directed by Gary Jones. Now, every film that Gary Jones directed is fucking garbage, and I'm being nice about that too, because it's worse than bad. But all the films that Gary Jones did the special effects for are pretty good, pretty on point. I like a lot of the films that he did the special effects for. So he did direct this, however, he also did all the special effects for it. So this is kind of the exception in the directing department, because most of the films that he directed that he didn't do the special effects for were really bad CGI flicks. However, all of his special effects is a mixture of puppets, stop motion, practical effects, very, very cool stuff. And this is absolutely no exception. I mean, he stays true to how he did everything else, and it was excellent. The film is pretty cut and dry. It's about mosquitoes. Meteor comes to Earth. Well, they think it's a meteor. It's actually an alien ship. Causes growth change in the mosquitoes, so the mosquitoes are like the size of pterodactyls. Anyway, it's made in 1995. There is a Region 1 release. It's put out by Image Entertainment back in the late 90s. It's gone out of print since then. It's been really hard to find. The Region 1 Image Entertainment release is really hard to find. This is a Region 2 release. It's not hard to find. Really, the only difference is this has no special features at all. The Region 1 has some. Haven't seen it. So, keep your eyes peeled for it. If you ever come across a film called Mosquito, even though the title's dumb, definitely grab it up. It's worth something. Anyway, Gary Jones, just to add to it, he worked with Sam Raimi, Ted Raimi, Bruce Campbell, on a lot of stuff. He was like friends and went to school with them. Anyway, I'm just going to go through some stuff that he did the effects for. The first one is the short films of Sam Raimi. He worked on some of them, like the one with the hamburger helper hand. I don't know if you guys saw that one. It's kind of a stop-motion comedy thing. It's like a little oven mitt that goes evil, but he did the stop-motion for it. He worked on Thou Shalt Not Kill Except. He worked on Evil Dead Part 2. And this is really where I think he honed in on his style and the practical effects and whatnot. He worked on Moontrap, which is another one that Bruce Campbell was in. He did all the stop motion for the robots and whatnot. Very cool stuff. If you haven't seen this, I should probably review it and talk about it because it's a great flick. And he also worked on Army of Darkness. So, with that being said, and with seeing some of the stuff that he's done the special effects for, I highly recommend anything else that he's worked on, because he's done quite a bit more for the special effects department, and I'm actually going to try and pick up some more of his stuff. But my good, Mosquito, definitely grab it. Try and find the Region 1 if you can, but don't pay too much for it. Just pick up the Region 2 if you can't come across it. Next, my bad. I actually just finished this. My friend, the guy that I work with actually, he made this for me. He knew that I had been looking for it, and I had told him about it. Actually, I feel like it was a long time ago. But he actually found a copy, burnt it for me, made the cover art and everything. And it is Brazilian Star Wars. This film has no release anywhere. It's in... What language do they speak? Portuguese. It's in Portuguese with no subtitles. So it's kind of one of those ones where you put it on, you kind of pay attention, but not fully. I was occupied with other things, but I kept an eye on it the whole time. Anyway, he did an excellent job with the cover art. The film's about an hour and a half long. It's from the 70s. It's based off of A New Hope, and it came out right after A New Hope. And actually, in their country, it came out before A New Hope. So that's a little fun little fact there. Anyway, it basically takes place on Tatooine, or a desert planet, and they've got those like little white igloo things that they live in. The film has a very progressive rock / progressive jazz musical score throughout it, and I really like the music in it. But it's also it's made by a Brazilian comedy group. They're kind of like Brazil's Three Stooges, except there's four of them. So it's about these four guys that are basically stuck in this Star Wars world. There's a character that's supposed to portray Luke Skywalker. There's a character that portrays Chewbacca. There's a character that is like Darth Vader. All the stormtroopers wear solid black armor. They have a cantina scene, which turns into like a musical dance number, and then a big bar fight. And there's a lot of like chase scenes and 70s action things. And instead of like driving a land speeder through the desert, they drive a Jeep with no top. It's really funny if you're into those foreign remakes of American flicks. If not, though, because there's no subtitles and I'm not aware of any version of that has subtitles, it might not be for you. But I totally dug it. I'm grateful that he made it for me. Very appreciative of that. And I would recommend it to anyone who's into the most weird of stuff. But all in all, it's a pretty bad movie. Lastly, my unusual, I got King of the Ants, and this is the Steelbook. I picked this up for $1.99, which for any Steelbook I think is a great deal. I got it at Movie Stop. It was used, but again, $1.99, it doesn't really matter. I hate the cover art. I gotta admit that. That actually kind of put me off for a long time for even watching the film, just because of the cover art. And I'm really guilty of doing that, taking one look at the cover art and thinking, oh, I'll like it, or nah, I won't watch that. Anyway, it's made by Stuart Gordon. I don't really need to talk about him much. He's a huge name in the horror industry. He did things like The Reanimator, From Beyond, Castle Freak, and King of the Ants. King of the Ants is a little bit weird, even for him. It's about a guy who he's kind of a loser. He gets picked up by this rich guy to kill someone else. He gets paid like he's supposed to be paid $13,000 to kill this guy. He goes and kills him. The guy never pays him back. He causes a big ruckus, so they capture him, lock him in a shed, and they keep hitting him in the head repeatedly every day, like just causing concussion after concussion to try and make him retarded, and then release him. That way he can't ever say what happened. I'm just gonna leave it there, but it's more of like a thriller than a horror movie, like you would expect from him. But all in all, great flick. It's got one of the Baldwin brothers in it, which kind of surprised me. You didn't expect to see him in it. But that's it for me, guys. That's my good, my bad, and my unusual. I'd love to hear what you guys think of these films. And as always, have a good one, guys.